Hey traders, I'm James, one of the content team leaders here at A1 Trading, and as we start today's stream, I wanted to let you know about one of our show's main sponsors, FX2 Funding. With all the craziness going on in the prop firm space, we're excited to share some of the solutions FX2 Funding has put together for their traders. First, FX2 is rolling out DXTrade, which is a web-based trading platform that provides traders a smooth trading experience. It also looks super cool too, but that's not all. By signing up with FX2, you get access to C-Trade. C-Trade is a trading terminal where you can create custom indicators or download ones from the community. Get access to all of this and more by signing up for FX2. So, for traders looking to get funded, you can get 15% off by using promo code A1Trading15. That's A1Trading15. The link and promo code can also be found in the description. Now, onto the show.
Okay, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? I hope everyone is doing well. I'll just go through the market as I normally do when I do come to Nick's stream. So I'll go through the market as I normally do, share any trades I'm in, anything I'm looking at. If there are any requests, any comments, feel free to drop it down in the chat. And of course, we'll discuss, we'll take a look at. We do have some news coming up. But at the moment, I'm currently long on Euro USD. I hopped into a buy a few hours ago on this candle closure here. Price came back to test a really nice level of resistance, turn support. I did actually take a buy last week here, came back down. So I'm looking for another go, see if we can get that follow through back to the high. But yeah, we do have some dollar news. So it's gonna be interesting to see how price does react to the news where we see some weakness or strength dollar wise. I'm looking at the DXY. We still do have somewhat of a bearish trend, but then again, if I look at the bigger picture for the DXY, conditions aren't particularly great. We don't have necessarily a clear-cut trend at play. So I am looking at downside, but it's more of a short to medium-term play, which I'm interested in. And beyond that, price might decide to go bullish or whatever. I'll reinvestigate things. But I am looking for some downside on the USD. We'll see how that plays out. With regard to other USD pairs, I'm liking some other pairs, but they haven't pulled back enough for me to be interested. Pound USD looks like a good buy. Should we approach this level closer to 1.26? I really like this level. We had a really nice clean break of that. Now, should we see a retest of that and some rejection, I will be interested in some longs for push up higher. Gold, I've kept my eye on as well. Gold is looking okay. I like the fact that we have come back into this low here. And I do think there's a good chance we can bounce from here. But again, I'm still very much longer term bullish on gold. So I'm looking for a swing trade in gold. And I don't think that's quite set up like how I want it to. We've had a really strong move to the downside here. I feel like price most likely is going to consolidate a little bit. Take a bit of a breather before we do see the next big swing. Because if I do go to the daily chart, you can see that the trend is still very much bullish. I'm still looking for more upside for gold. I still think we can make it back to the highs around 24.50. But I think, well, what I'm looking for is prices settle a little bit, consolidate maybe before I do get involved in any buys. It's still a bit too much bearish momentum for my liking. So earlier on my stream, I was discussing gold could be up for a nice rally back to the high here, but I wouldn't sure I'll try and take it past that area. And of course, it's a very reasonable trade back to the high there. Depending on your entry, could look very, very, very good in terms of the risk to reward. So gold does look good for a push higher, especially with the wicks here. But that's about it I've got for gold. Not seeing much more than that. Of course, I could be completely wrong. Gold could fly. So probabilities at the end of the day, but I'm kind of waiting for a bit more development before I do long gold for a bigger swing, which is what I'm interested in. Same thing with silver. I did miss silver on the retest of this high. Well, I didn't miss it because it didn't get there, but that is exactly where I was looking to pick up some longs and take price high. So I'm kind of waiting to see if silver can roll back over, come back and test that level, and hopefully take some buys later on. But another pair I'm looking at, which I know some of you guys are not really interested in, but pound CHF for me looks really, really good as we approach this high here. Looking to see if we can hold that for a retest and get some long opportunities. It's looking very, very interesting going forward. Hopefully we can get some rejection there. But yeah, it's kind of all eyes on the news to see how we react. Like I said, I'm long Euro USD. We'll see how that gets on. A lot of people talking about gold, S&P. You're not waiting until after? No. Again, I'm a very technical trader. I take all my trades based on technical patterns, technical setup. So if I do get a technical pattern, technical setup that fits the plan, of course, I will just take that position. The only news I do watch out for in terms of me trading around it and me tiptoeing around would be CPI, NFP, and Fed interest rate. Those three events I do be cautious around because they move the market a lot. And the probability of me getting slipped is a lot higher in those circumstances. But other news, of course, can still move the market a lot. But as a swing trade, it's difficult just to avoid news altogether. Like I said, I focus on my technicals. If I do get technical setup, I'm taking the trade, as long as it's not heading into major news like NFP or Fed interest rate. So yeah, I'll see how things go. Of course, things could change. Dollar could come very strong and rolls over. I'll take the stop loss and move on to the next position. That's why my stop loss is there in place. But yeah, for the indices, we are looking quite bearish. Well, particularly for US 30, S&P, we have seen some downside. But I still do like the buys. I wouldn't be so excited in terms of, okay, I'm expecting S&P to rip to the upside at the moment. As we approach this area, I remember last week on Nick's stream, I was discussing this area. I said this could be a really nice place for a bounce. We had a brief consolidation, big break higher, no retest yet until now. So I do think this is a nice area for a reaction. Will it just form a lower high and price come straight back down again? That is a strong possibility. Will we continue the higher time frame trend and rip to the upside? That's also a strong possibility. But again, it depends what you're looking for in the market. Depends how you want to manage your trade. Are you trading stops? Do you have set targets? Is there set risk reward you're after? Of course, that is all up to you, the individual trader. But as an area to be interested in for a long, this is a really nice area. I don't trade indices myself, but I do like keeping tabs with them. But this looks like a nice place for a bounce, for a move higher. US 30 has been so bearish. I wouldn't look to try and pick up any longs on this one. Sure, we will be expecting some retracement sooner or later, but this is like catching a falling knife right now. There's so much bearish momentum right now. Trying to buy and anticipate some retracement is really a hard call. I'd rather wait for sells if anything should we pull back. This area looks really nice. Brief consolidation, broke out great momentum, haven't had a retest. That could be a nice level for a short. And Nasdaq still looking somewhat bullish, I would say. It's quite corrective now, which is a sign we could be looking for a bigger retracement, maybe approaching some of these areas here. But I wouldn't look too much into this one. I'm not a big fan of the price action. Yes, we're still bullish, but we're running out momentum. So I would anticipate a bigger retracement at some point, and then that's when I'll start being involved in looking at buy ideas to take it higher. So that's kind of my outlook there with the indices. I'll have a quick look at oil and a dollar CAD. So yeah, last time I looked at oil was looking a little bit bearish. Nice rally to the upside. I mean, oil's kind of consolidating really. I wouldn't try and get too involved in the price action here. This is the daily chart for oil. I would wait for price to kind of break through that. That tell me that, okay, the bearish trend is still alive, still kicking, still seeing healthy momentum. And pullbacks after that should look pretty attractive, because at that point, the trend is really much alive again. And we've kind of put to bed any possibility of maybe a reversal as well. So inside here, again, I don't really like trading in ranges. I like momentum. I like trending markets. I like direction. And I would still be pretty bearish on US 100 on oil. But I think a break of that consolidation really tells me that, okay, the market's still alive with that bearish trend. And pullbacks, probably would have left behind a really nice level of support. This now will be turn resistance, which would be a great place to look for some short opportunities and take that next leg lower. I wouldn't mind a retest of the high here as well, try and anticipate the continuation within the range, but this would be my number one setup there. Nice break and retest, which is always my go-to. So yeah, we'll take a look at USD. A few people talking about some dollar crosses. So yeah, USD. Like I said, I'm leaning towards dollar weakness going into the news. Purely just looking at the technicals behind everything. I'm in Euro USD long at the moment. USD, in terms of a technical setup, I suppose we are coming into support here, so I can understand people looking for some longs there. For me, this would be my number one area just below. This is the 4H chart as well. This would be my number one area, 0.60441. Reason being, we had a nice kind of consolidation here where price had a bit of a pause. We built up, and then had a really nice breakout with a lot of momentum here. And again, haven't had a retest of that level. I really do like support and resistance when we have a really healthy breakout and we don't come back for a retest right away. When we eventually do, normally we do get some nice reactions. So should USD see some more downside, maybe we do get dollar strength off the back of the news this afternoon or this morning, wherever you are in the world. And then maybe we might see price take off from that. And that would be the opportunity which I would be interested in trading. Pound USD, like I said, I would like a bit more retracement as well. This is the high I'm looking at. We also do line it with the Fibonacci 50%, I believe. Yes, we do. And this has some really nice confidence for a long, really nice move here. Looking for the next higher low. Should we make one? We've got a good chance of it forming around here. And then looking for the continuation to the upside as well. So that's kind of the idea I'm looking at for Pound USD. As the USD, looking at retracement upside. Euro USD, I'm currently already trading, looking at upside there as we approach this level. Aussie dollar, I'm not a big fan of this one, I must say. This one has been a bit of a consolidation, and I'm kind of looking at these two moves here and this one as well as just being big fake outs, kind of. We've seen some breakouts, but price reversed straight back in. Likewise here, came straight back in. So if anything, we could actually favor a move down, because once we get the fake out to one side, you expect price to follow through in the opposite direction. So if anything, I would actually I would expect to move lower. But in terms of the price action for Aussie dollar, it's not really a trending market. Yes, you can probably argue in the higher time frames, we do have a bearish trend there, but focusing more on the daily 4-hour charts, not looking that attractive, I must say. So I don't really have too much to say with Aussie dollar, just because the conditions on the market aren't ideal. So yeah, should I put the screens up in different places like Nick normally does? I think that's what he does anyway. To see what happens with the news. Should I put it on like the 50-minute chart? Let me get Pound USD over there. Let's get Euro USD there. Actually, no, let's get Euro USD there because that's where my position is. And then here we'll get Aussie dollar, and then I think we'll get gold for the other one. Gold's always a lot of fun. So yeah, we do have the news coming out at 1:30, and by my book, it is 1:30. Well, 1:30 UK time, and of course, wherever else you guys are. Okay, so the news is out. We're seeing a somewhat bullish reaction, but still very early doors. A lot can change here. Gold is pushing up, Euro is pushing up, Pound's pushing up, Aussie dollar's pushing up. I'd imagine DXY is falling a little bit. Let's have a quick look at the DXY. Yeah, it's nothing major. It's nothing gonna, yeah, it's nothing crazy, and things. Yeah, a lot can happen as well. But yeah, it is somewhat of a bullish reaction. But I always like to wait to the next hourly candle closure after the news has happened, because that way I can kind of see what effect the news has had on the market. Because sometimes you look at the market right now, things could look a little bit bullish or bearish, and then next 5 minutes you come back to the charts and things look completely different, or the markets kept moving. So I like waiting 1 hour after the news has happened, and that hourly candle kind of shows me what the market has done with the news. So yeah, somewhat bullish, but in reality, we haven't really moved too much, really. Like I said, the way I look at the market is from a technical perspective. I'm very much a technical trader. So where I come with my ideas and where I come with my bias and my direction is down to the technicals of the market, or my my viewpoint of my technical analysis. Because of course, someone else could do technicals and have the opposite bias to me. But I'm very much look to follow trend, look to follow momentum, and that's how I identify my trading opportunities. So currently in Euro USD, this is my break-even point. This is where I will take not positions off. This is where I will move my stop loss to break even and just remove risk on that trade altogether. And then, yeah, see what happens. Best case scenario, Euro USD is very bullish and we kind of continue to fly and we push back to the high. And this trend here, which is the trend I'm looking to follow, just decides it wants to continue. And we get some follow through to the upside like that. That'll be the best case scenario. Of course, worst case scenario, we just roll over from where we are right now and it stops me out. And then the neutral output would be price hits my first take profit level. Again, it's not take profit level, it's just the first target. I'm not taking profit there. First target level, then it comes to take me out a break even. So those are the three scenarios of what could happen. Long USD CAD. I will take a look at USD CAD and dollar yen as well. What's wrong with Microsoft Edge? What's wrong with Microsoft Edge? So yeah, USD CAD. USD, okay, yeah, it would be looking bearish, wouldn't it? So yeah, we're looking bearish here from USD CAD. We did come up into an area which is a pretty appropriate place for a sell. I was looking at the USD CAD this morning, but Euro USD was the pair on my watch list and it fit my plan, so that's why I took that one. But yeah, we did come into an area where we could be forming another lower high, and as of right now, it looks to be that way. We have these previous low highs, the market's come back there, and looks like we're forming another one. If this is going to be a lower high, and we've got a long way to go back to the low there, a long way. So we could be seeing a pretty big sell-off for USD CAD. Someone earlier said they're looking to long USD CAD. If you're looking to long, I would at least wait for price to either get back to the lows here or break structure and then look for some type of pullback, after that. That would make sense. So yeah, if we do see some follow through, pullback, yes, that could be a nice long on the retest of the high maybe. Or if we come a lot deeper there, because you have to make sure you're buying and selling in appropriate areas. You know, this is clearly an area where sellers are really getting involved in the market, since every time we come up here, we just see the market reverse. So although, yes, you could be right and we could see the market fly, it's just you probably have a better chance down here or if we break structure. But for now, since we are respecting the high, this is what I'm favoring for USD CAD. If we touch on the DXY, this is what I'm favoring for the DXY, a push back down to the low. And then we'll see what happens after that. Because like I said, DXY, although it might have somewhat of a bearish trend here, which is the trend I'm looking to follow, high time frames trend is it's kind of just a big consolidation. There's a slight uptrend with the higher lows here. But again, we're just very corrective. I'm not a big fan of the DXY as of late. Not a big fan. But for now, looking at some weakness. Let me take a look at USD JPY. A few people asking for that one. So yeah, I'm very bullish on the yen pairs. So I'm only looking for buying opportunities for them. Exact same thing with USD JPY. In terms of a location, I don't really have one. I like retracements from the 50% of the Fibonacci and beyond. So if we can get at least the 50 and beyond, this is the area which I like to work in, because at least the market's has a decent retracement, has a decent pullback, so we're likely to snap back in that direction. So I like working from the 50% below. In terms of a good level to work with, that's my only kind of critique with USD JPY. I don't really see a good level to buy from. This is not bad. It's just we haven't had a bigger pullback enough. Say if price really ripped to the upside, then yeah, this would be something I'll be interested in. But we only kind of broke through by not much. So yeah, it's still a nice level of resistance, which could be turned support and could send price up. It's not enough of a pullback for me to get interested in. Other yen pairs like euro yen has had a pretty good pullback. Pound yen, I need a little bit more there, but it looks like it's on its way. So yeah, those has been a bit more interested in. Dollar, even if it does pull back to the 50, like I said on the fib, I don't really have a good area of support resistance to buy from, which is my non-negotiable confidence for a trade. I must always have a level I'm buying or selling from, and I'm not seeing a good one on dollar yen apart from this one. It's just we haven't had enough of a pullback. We'll see what's happening with gold. Okay. So gold's looking fairly fruitful right now. It's looking pretty bullish. So as I was saying earlier, I like the fact that gold's taken out the low here. Really nice wick rejection. So basically we've just seen price reject the low. So naturally, I'm expecting price to push back up. My only worry with gold is that as you approach the high here, I think there's a good chance we roll back over, because you've had a really, really big sell-off here. I think price is kind of consolidate, move sideways, maybe move in the descending channel, maybe before eventually you might have that bigger move. Because I'm still very long-term bullish on gold, as I said earlier, looking for the higher low in respect to this low here. So new high, low, new high. That's my thought process with gold longer term, and that's the move I'm after. Yeah, I just don't really have an opportunity to get involved just yet. I think for now, if you're long gold, this is like a really nice place for a target. And then we'll see what price does next. Maybe I could be wrong. Price can break straight through, and then we look for pullbacks, and then things get really interesting after that. So, of course, in trading, a lot of it is just reacting to what price is doing. Of course, you have to have some type of not prediction, but expectation, because you have ideas, then you want to trade those ideas. But market changes all the time. Things change. News happens. This happens, and then sometimes your ideas get thrown out the water, and then you have to pivot and think of something else or another idea. So I'm definitely prepared to change my mind for gold. But for now, I think we can see maybe a move for the end of the week till Friday, and then I'll reanalyze over the weekend. The internal break structure, why didn't you use that? Again, with me, I operate mainly in the 4H time frame. I think you're talking about the break structure here. Yeah, that's perfectly valid. But for me, this is my major swing low, and that's my major, anticipating that to be the major swing high. So as long as we're within this area here, I'm looking for a long. I understand people in the low time frames would be looking at as a break of structure there and looking for a lower high and a lower low and a lower high. But again, you have to look at probabilities as well. USD JPY on the monthly chart, extremely bullish. USD JPY in the weekly chart, extremely bullish. USD JPY in the daily chart, extremely bullish. So just because of what the high time frames are doing, I know that I want to position myself long rather than short. Not that you can't get a successful trade, but I know that if the trend's going to continue, which more often not it does, if I'm positioned long, I should give myself that better chance of hitting a winning trade and hitting a trade that can go a lot further as well. So yeah, I do agree with that break structure. It's just that I want to position myself long. So yeah, that's kind of my thought process with a lot of the yen pairs really. Euro USD pushing up quite nicely. Hopefully we can get to that area, not too far away, and that's when I'll go risk-free, and then we'll see what happens for the rest of the week. But yeah, it looks like USD has reacted bearish to that news. USD has reacted bearish. I think the first major obstacle for USD is this brief area of consolidation on 4H. This is where price stalled a little bit and we had a big break out higher. So we'll see what USD does here. But yeah, truthfully, this is where I'm looking for USD to end up at some point. I'll take a look at UK 100. Hey, what is up, Sculpey? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. So yeah, with pound USD, I'll take a look at that one after I do US 100. So yeah, I touched briefly on this one earlier. I said overall still pretty bullish for NASDAQ. Again, the trend's still up, so I will be a buyer of the market. However, recently we've just created a new high, and we can see from the price action here that we are losing steam. So I would anticipate a pullback at some point, and then that would start to interest me for something like this. So this is the idea. This is the buy I'm looking for. Anything in here? Ooh, there we go. Anything in here is a bit more short term, which is perfectly fine if that's what you're looking for. Price has created pretty sturdy level of support here, and we had another reaction again this morning. That could take us back to the high, and that's kind of it for NAS. That's kind of what I'll look like. I'll look for. Anything more is a little bit optimistic. Sure, the trend's up. We can still continue higher, but because we're quite corrective, we'll most likely hit the top end of this channel and then come right back down again. I think NASDAQ is building up to a bigger pullback at some point, which could give us some really nice buy opportunities in the coming weeks. So yeah, with pound USD as well. Yeah, looking at upside, maybe it's left without us. Maybe pound USD is going to push up from here. That could be the case. Again, we're not perfect here. We're looking for areas where we could see price fulfill, our bias, our idea in the market. If we're looking for the market to go up, looking to buy from an area where there's a good chance the market will go up, and that is the level I have here. Maybe the market just keeps pushing up. If that's the case. But if we do come back down, then 1.262 looks like a really tidy area for a long. And if we do see a big swing, the risk reward looks really, really good there as well, depending on your entry. But yeah, pound USD hasn't been the best market in the world. It's been quite choppy. But recently, there's been somewhat of a bullish trend here, which I would like to follow should we see that pullback into the 50 and into that level of now support. So we'll see how that gets on. But going forward, I'm pretty bearish on USD, looking to see if we can push all the way back down to 104, which hopefully will take euro back to 1.08937, around there somewhere. But I will be trading my stop loss behind it, so I'll see how far we can take it. Yeah, pound USD could be gone. It could be gone. If that's the case, again, you're not here to catch every single trade, every single move. You're just looking for a good opportunity. So yeah, that will be the plan there with Euro USD, and if pound USD wants to pull back, let it pull back. Same thing with New Zealand dollar as well, and New Zealand dollar is looking very bullish too. So yeah. But anyway, guys, I believe the next guest is about to come on shortly.
And that would be correct. Thanks, Miko, for coming on.
No problem.
Yeah, thanks for taking over the show, guys. I put Miko's channel in the chat a few times now. I'm going to do it one more time.
Can't miss it.
Yep. Go sub to Miko. This is there it is right there. I've done all the work for you. All you got to do is click that. So, yeah, go sub to Miko. He's on every single week. We love having him on. He's full of great value and knowledge. And Miko, thanks for coming on. And
Appreciate it.
yeah. And
See you next week.
We'll see you next week. Yeah. All right, guys. So now is the time when we're going to run a quick ad, and then we're going to have Marco from Marco's Trading Journey come on. So he's going to be our next guest. So stay tuned. We're going to have a quick ad. It's about 40 seconds long. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Attention A1 Trading Show fans, if you're interested in getting free access to the EDGEFINDER or our premium trade alerts, listen up. For a limited time, our show's partnered broker Eightcap is giving out free access to our products when you sign up for a new trading account with them. If you already have a broker, you may want to consider switching to Eightcap because of their low trading costs, a wide range of trading assets, and their amazing customer support. If you'd like to get access to our software and Discord server for free, click the link being dropped in the chat right now and ask one of our team members for more information. Don't miss your chance for free products and an award-winning broker. Now, back to the A1 Trading Show.
Hello everyone. So let's get started with the analysis. Basically, I am watching a couple of the Forex pairs. If you guys have any questions, just make sure to put them in the chat. We'll take a look at the requests, of course. We're going to do the main ones. And first, starting with the ones I actually trade. So those would be these 6 currency pairs on the list right here. For me, the euro and the US dollar looks really, really good. So in this area, it looks really, really nice. Again, I'm only looking at the 1-hour chart. So I'm not looking at the lower charts, or let's say the 4-hour or the daily. I'm only focusing on that 1-hour chart, keeping things simple, freedom of time as well. That's exactly how I like it. We have a descending channel right here. Okay, we have the descending structure. Then we have the push up, some nice momentum. I did have my order on for a buy setup after this candle printed, so I just want to quickly cover that one. I did have my pending order set, but it never got hit, so price went flying without me. So now, if this closes bullish with a nice clean close, if it doesn't print the wick, I am going to be setting my order. It's going to be on the top of this candle because that would be the high for me. So yeah, we basically had a descending channel, push up, pull back, no shift, so absolutely zero selling pressure, and then price continues with currently a nice clean close. So it's all about how this candle closes. I mean, it's still a live candle. We still have 10 minutes to go. So this can still close very, very bearish and with a huge wick. Let's not have any expectations, but I'm definitely very interested to look for some nice buy setups. So that's about it for EU. I'm definitely gonna put EU on the watch list. EJ, Euro Japanese Yen. For me, it's looking like it's printing a bit of a V reversal structure. Let's just exit this silly replay tool. Okay, so seeing a bit of a V. I know when I see that sort of a pattern, I'm expecting a range and a push up. So I want this pattern to form. I want to see a nice range and I want to see a nice strong push up. Then I will look for some nice buy setups. Currently not on the watch list, to be honest. So Tim says that I should do AU, and AU is definitely the next one on this list. Okay. So for AU, I'm seeing a similar thing as on the euro and the US dollar. I'm seeing a bit of a descending structure right here. And it's a clean one because I'm seeing only the lows being broken according to my methodology. Again, 1, 2, look at the dotted lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 consecutive breaks of the low. That gives me a high probability that this price will reverse in the opposite direction, which it is doing right now. Then we had a push up, 1 candle pullback, and now we're continuing with some very, very nice, very clean, strong momentum, printing a clean close on the top as well. So this is looking very interesting, and I am going to be looking for buy setups as well. Will I place my buy limit right here after this candle closes bullish. If it closes bullish, no, because that distance would be too much for me. The distance would be definitely too big for me personally. So I would wait for a slower retrace to the entry level, at which point I would be happy to take a buy limit position like this one. Okay, with a fixed stop loss. I use a fixed 10 pip stop loss for the Euro US dollar and for the Aussie US dollar. Do you use Fibonacci at all? No. So no Fibonacci, no news, no indicators. Okay, the only indicator I use is this high and low indicator. It's this one, GT recent high low by Bong Hyun. But yeah, I can do it manually. I don't really need an indicator. It just makes things a bit more simple. Basically pure price action on the 1 hour chart. Euro $1.000. Not really sure what you mean by that, John. But we're going to continue with the analysis, and I'm going to put this currency pair on the watch list as well. So let's switch it up a bit. I still have 3 left that I trade live, but let's do gold. Let's switch it up. Gold, I do not trade live, but I know you guys like it. So gold is pretty flat right here on this 1 hour chart. So if we bump it up to the 4 hour, well, we had some bearish momentum, but it kind of fizzled out and started to range around. Daily, again, had some bullish momentum right here as well, but now we are kind of struggling, right? We are struggling, we're flat, range bound right here in this area. So I am expecting a bit more range bound price action for gold. I think Nick had a long position somewhere here. I'm not really sure where, but to be honest, I'm expecting now with this major bearish retrace, I'm expecting a bit of a range on all time frames, to be honest. So that's it for gold. Not really showing me a clear direction up or down. Let's do silver. Silver on the 1 hour, flat in this general area. 4 hour, pretty flat as well, but the daily looks to still be in a better position or in an uptrend compared to gold. So I'm seeing some better price action here. Seeing a nice push, pullback, nice continuation to the upside. Bit of selling pressure. So just by gauging the momentum, this doesn't look that promising, okay? But this can still break the high with some nice strong momentum and then look for buy setups. So silver looks better than gold. Next one is going to be the S&P. Okay. On the 1 hour, it's in a downtrend, seeing some bullish pressure now, but overall in a downtrend for me personally. 4 hour is going to be in a downtrend as well. Not the cleanest downtrend because we had a bit of buying pressure. Again, the way I analyze the markets is mostly conducive to Forex pairs, I would say. I have seen the S&P doesn't work as well with my analysis. Gold, when it trends, it works nice, but when it doesn't trend, which is most of the time, it is kind of poor. The Forex is really, really good with my type of analysis, with just gauging the price action, gauging the momentum, and just looking at the highs and the lows. So this in a downtrend, but nothing to write home about. Had some big selling pressure. We had a big high break of this level, but it could not be sustained. So I wanted to see a big push up. Aussie US dollar trends very similarly to SPX. I wouldn't really say so. I have seen some very, very nice strong trends on the Aussie US dollar. They don't happen that often, but when they do, they look, I would say, very clean. Very clean. I could show you some examples a bit later. So we broke the major high, but we could not continue. Instead, we got major selling pressure right here. BTC USD, sure. Yep, we're going to do BTC. And here, so I do not really like this price action. Weekly chart. Yeah, this is a key level. Absolutely key level. And what I wanted to see, NVIDIA. Yeah, we'll check out NVIDIA. what I wanted to see is a break and a continuation. I wanted to see one big blue candle, one big bullish candle, break and close above, which did not happen. Instead, we are retracing from the break of this major level. So that's a big warning sign. Bitcoin. We had some movement on Bitcoin, but now the 1 hour is starting to be very range bound. 4 hour looks to be very similar as well. We had a big movement right here, which definitely caught my eye, but it could not continue yet. Okay, it could not continue yet. That doesn't mean it will not continue maybe in the next couple of weeks. On the daily chart, I was expecting this to fail, to be honest. I was expecting the price to reach this level at least. Okay, for the price to heavily drop, reach this level, then possibly bounce. But now this is looking like a bullish scenario. We're starting to see some bullish signatures right here, starting to see some bullish pressure. So let's see. My eye would be on if we can break this major high. Okay, that would be very interesting to me. That would be a key level for me personally. So if that can happen and the candle can actually close above it like this, then it's game on for buy setups. Although I'm not trading it, just by analyzing the price action. So let's wait for the break of the key level. Let's also do Ethereum. So Ethereum had a big move up. See, almost broke this major high. Nice move up, nice bullish momentum. This was kind of like a big descending channel or a big falling wedge or whatever name you want to call it. But basically the moves were getting smaller and smaller. Price was correctively breaking the lows and retracing. So it could be expected that a nice bullish break will happen. And indeed, it did print right here. But again, I want to see this major high being broken with some very nice and some very strong momentum. Okay, so for crypto, I want to see this. And a close above it, nice clean close, that would be high probability. So that would be about it for crypto. Now we can do, I think I saw US oil. Sure, let's do oil. What is your indicator setup? So the indicator is this one, GT, recent high low by Bong Hyun. Okay, that's the indicator. So US oil had a nice uptrend on the 1 hour. To me, this was a nice uptrend and it could have been exploited. This is the price action I'm referring to. Am I seeing any entries that I personally use, which are flags or break and retest setups? No, none of them formed. But again, nice uptrend, so you could have had some buy setups in here. 4 hour, let's check the 4 hour. 4 hour is flat. 4 hour is flat. I can see it broke above these highs, but retraced heavily with some major bearish pressure. Daily, not really telling me much. I think we're in a bit of a downtrend here. But again, if you're focusing on the 1 hour as I am, you could have potentially exploited this uptrend right here. Okay, so looks like the hour is closing. So let's check out the euro and the US dollar. Let me see if I'll put on a position on this currency pair. Do some quick analysis. And actually, I do like this price action. Let's wait for the close. So we have 5 more seconds, closing with a bit of a wick. So that's a bit of a warning sign. But I believe it's okay for me. So what do I do now? Just a quick process of me taking a trade or placing a pending order. Just I open up the phone, check out the lot sizes I use. So for dollar pairs, I use a 10 pip stop loss, or I add a 1 pip more for spread. So I use 11 pips. Open MetaTrader, plus buy limit. I have my lot size put in. From which level am I taking it? The high of this candle right here, 0.08198. So it's gonna be 208. Okay, and then the stop loss is gonna be 11 pips. So basically we have 208 208 minus 110. It's going to be 98. So the stop loss is going to be 1.08098. Click place, and then I always check my position on the chart option in MetaTrader, okay, if everything is correct, and that's about it. So now I have a buy limit set up right here from this level, 1 pip above because of spreads with a, so it's 11 pip stop loss in this case. 110. So this is now in the markets. Okay, let's continue. We can do NVIDIA. Yeah, NVIDIA has been really active, hasn't it? Let's check it out. So I really hate these gaps. I mean, I really don't like this price action where you get huge gaps. That's why I really kind of do not like stocks. I'm going to have to bump it up to the 4-hour to get some better analysis done. Yeah, still very, very big gaps. Maybe daily looks a bit better. This is flying. This is absolutely crazy. This is really, really flying. So in the last, 2 weeks, let's see the percentage gain. It's like 23%, absolutely huge. So I think you missed the cap. Yeah, so basically this is looking absolutely bullish. It just broke this major high. Let's bump it up to the weekly. Let's see. Yeah, this looks like Bitcoin, to be honest. This is what Bitcoin wants to be right now, okay? So this is a very, very bullish scenario. I'm seeing no slowdown. I'm seeing no red bearish pressure. So yeah, this doesn't really look to be slowing down yet. It's going to slow down. It's not going to go up immensely, or not immensely, but forever, right? Everything has to correct. But currently, just by gauging the momentum, looking at the price action, I'm not seeing any warning signs right now. Okay. Let's do the pound, because I know a lot of you are interested in the pound US dollar. Let's check out the pound. Let me see the Aussie US dollar, how that one closed. Okay, that's a nice close. I will be looking for buy setups here. So Nick is in the chat. Good morning from Ireland. Thanks, Marco, for guest hosting. Yeah, no worries, Nick. Have fun and see you next week. Aussie US dollar, I would look for some buy setups. Again, my level is right here. If I want to take a buy limit setup, it's kind of too far away from me. So I'm either looking for a flag like this or for a potential slower retrace to the entry level like that. Okay, I don't want to see a big red candle. I don't want to see major selling pressure to my entry level. I want to see some slower price action to the entry level. Now let's do pound US dollar. And it's not looking that great. It's not looking that great. I am seeing a nice descending channel on all dollar pairs. So basically, price action is very similar. On the Euro US dollar, Aussie US dollar, and the pound US dollar, you have a clean descending structure, clean descending channel. And then you're getting some bullish pressure right here. Now, this is a warning sign to me, okay? So these two wicks, large wicks, rejecting to the upside, rejecting that level, that's a big, big warning sign. And this break is not big enough. For me to take a buy setup, to take a buy limit setup, I wanted this high to be broken with a lot more convincing momentum like this and a nice clean close on the top. This break is not really enough and looks to me like this a little bit. So my game plan on the pound on this 1 hour chart, yeah, I'm going to put it on the watch list. My game plan is for this next candle to print a nice clean close like this. Okay, that is going to be on my radar for this candle to continue. Nice clean close, move away from this high, and then look for a break and retest setup. Buy gold. Let's see gold. Okay, on the 1 hour, I would not be a buyer. 4 hour, sure, 4 hour could work. I mean, 4 hour could work. Let me tell you why. Because this was a major low. This was a major, major low. So a lot of people bought right here. There were a lot of buyers. right? Here, here, here. So this is more of an SMC, ICT style, you know, liquidity sweeps, liquidity grabs, but basically a lot of buying pressure in these moves. So this area is going to be filled with stop losses, because think about it. If you were a buyer right here, or let's say right here, most likely you're going to put your stop loss underneath this major low, right? There's going to be a lot of people putting their stop loss underneath this low. So when this low gets taken out so correctively with a huge wick, right, that means a lot of stops got activated, or at least that's how I view it. So this candle pushed into the liquidity area, activated a lot of stop losses, grabbed that liquidity, and is possibly going to reverse to the upside, right? So that could be a game plan. That could be a potential setup on gold. My entry would be on this candle right here. Again, this is not a signal, and I'm not trading gold at all, but I trade this exact setup. It's called the liquidity sweep. I trade it on the Euro US dollar and on the Aussie US dollar. And if this happened on the 1 hour chart on one of those two currency pairs, I would definitely take a setup, because I know liquidity grabs can be really, really powerful. What I usually aim for is I aim for, let's say you have a stop loss like this. I aim for a 3-to-1. 3-to-1 risk to reward, fixed stop loss, fixed take profit. That. No, don't buy. Don't buy gold. This is just a hypothetical situation. But I can see why some people may be interested for some buy setups, especially if you're into the whole SMC ICT thing. Do you trade into the news? Well, basically, I do not look at news at all except for prop firms. So the only news I look at is the NFP Friday. And usually on NFP Friday, I just stop trading at 1 in the morning on a Friday, okay? So that whole day, I do not take any new setups. The reason is NFP. Usually right before NFP, price is slower, very choppy. The spreads expand. There can be volatile price action as well right at the news candle. So you can get stopped out for much more than you initially risked for, okay? And that is something I do not want to get myself into. If I'm already in a trade from Thursday, I'm going to leave it on. I'm going to leave it on into NFP Friday. But again, if it's very close to the current, if my entry price is very close to the current price right before NFP, I may close the position. If the current price is far, far away in profit from my entry price right before NFP, I'm going to let the position run, see what happens. So be really, really careful with NFP. It has burned me a lot of the time, okay? Because I lost even more than I initially risked. So I risk 1% per every position, but on NFP, that 1% can turn into 2%, maybe even 3% loss, because the spreads expand by a lot, okay? And also prop firms. You should be really, really careful with prop firms. You should look into that small text in the FAQ section of every single prop firm, because most of them have banned news trading. They have banned red events. Some of the prop firms even banned orange events. So you should go to Forex calendar, Forex factory calendar, circle all of the red events, maybe even the orange events, I believe, and be prepared if you're trading a prop firm, because you cannot open or close a position 2 minutes before or 2 minutes after that news window. Even if you have a position running 1, 2, 3 hours before a news event and you close it in that 4-minute window, it will still be a violation of the rules. So be really, really careful. That's some of the new things that the prop firms are starting to implement, and it's all in the fine print, okay? You really need to read the FAQ section on the prop firm website and be really careful. What you can do at the beginning of each day in the morning, go to Forex factory calendar and write down exactly when the big news events are, so you know to be careful. Okay, Euro Japanese yen. Euro Japanese yen on the 1 hour. At this point, I was looking for sell setups because I was seeing some major selling pressure, okay? But then we got some major buying pressure. So now I'm expecting either a complete V reversal and a range and a push up like this, or I'm expecting some range bound price action like this, okay? So that is what I'm expecting on the Euro Japanese yen. I wouldn't touch it yet. It's definitely not on my watch list. I would be more careful with the Euro Japanese yen. It kind of looks to be stuck between this major high and this major low. CHF pairs, sure, everyone bought when you said buy here. No. So you should always stick to your own analysis and your own backtesting results. And I don't even trade gold. So you should definitely not listen to me when I talk about the gold. It's only pure analysis, pure fun, and analyzing the liquidity sweep entries. Okay, I can make an example of an entry that I actually took as a liquidity sweep. Just quickly, I think it may be interesting. This one. See, this is a liquidity sweep entry. Basically, you have two major highs, maybe even three major highs right here, okay? So there's going to be a clear area of liquidity. Why? Well, because look at these major legs of sellers. People that sold here. Whoop. People that sold here. And the ones that sold here. Maybe even on the higher time frames. They're going to put their stop loss possibly somewhere in this area. So when this area that is filled with liquidity gets taken out, a reversal of the direction, a push down is very, very likely. A rejection of that area is very likely. And I basically entered 10 pip stop loss, aiming for a 3-to-1 risk to reward. Okay. Took out the liquidity. When this candle closes, it's red. I execute the market sell position, and this ends up hitting the take profit. Okay. And it was a news candle. So actually my friend Nico, he got a violation from Alpha Capital that basically he closed the position inside of that 4-minute window during news, and his profits got basically rejected, or his payout got rejected. So be really, really careful. That's the problem with trading, because news can often spike you in and spike you out of trades. News is very, very important for Forex trading. For all types of trading, you need news to create trends. Okay. CHF, right? We said CHF. Let's do, which one shall we do? Let's do CHF JPY. So CHF JPY on this 1 hour, some bullish pressure, but it could not continue. It was not really sustained. It broke out of this flat structure. So I would say I'm expecting more range-bound price action. I would say this was a fake out, okay? Because the bullish pressure could not be sustained. Instead, we retraced with a major bearish candle. 4 hour seems a bit flat, broke this high, started retracing, not really a good story. Daily looks even worse. So this pair is just very corrective, very flat, not moving anywhere. So I would be more patient. Okay. So to finish up, we still have AJ, which looks the same as the Euro Japanese yen. So I'm expecting a good pattern like this, range, push up, maybe buy setups. TSM, I'm not sure what TSM is. Okay, NZD-JPY. I was definitely looking for sell setups, okay? 100% looking for sell setups, but we could not print a nice entry. Instead, we printed a big, big blue candle. Big bullish pressure. So now I'm being a lot more patient. I'm expecting a complete reversal of this price action, to be honest. Okay. CAD CHF. Sure. Let's do two more. We're going to do pound JPY. We're going to do CAD CHF, and that wraps up this session. So GBP JPY. This one looks pretty similar as EJ, AJ, and NJ. I was definitely, or I would be looking for sell setups at this point. This was looking very promising, but then major bullish pressure. So then I'm reevaluating all of the plans. reevaluating the whole price action. If this breaks the low with some strong momentum, then we are in an established downtrend, and I would look for sell setups. And the final one for today is going to be CAD CHF. Whoa, this looks nice. This looks pretty good on the 1 hour. This is kind of the cleanest chart that I have seen today. Look at this selling pressure. It's really nice. It's even got this nice bearish pressure, but this is really, really strong. So if this can break the low with a big red candle, give me a nice clean close, I would be a buyer in this, a seller in this market. Okay. So let's see if this can break the low, print one more big red candle, and then I would place my sell limit. I'm not trading this pair, but if I was, I would do it something like this. Place my sell limit at this low, and then possibly wait to get tagged into the position. Okay. So TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing. Okay, cool. So we can quickly do that one. If we can find it as a ticker. Oh my God, the chop. The chop is huge. Daily, uptrend, not that clean. Weekly, it's in an uptrend, definitely in an uptrend. Maybe bump it up to monthly. Oh yeah, this is definitely in an uptrend. Broke the high, possibly gonna continue. Yeah, for me, this is a bullish scenario for TSM. And that would be about it for today. So thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next week on Thursday, I believe.
Yeah, thank you, Marco. Guys, I put Marco's stuff in the chat. Make sure to go sub to him. I'm going to do it one more time. There it is right there. I've done all the work for you. All you got to do is click it. So thanks, Marco. We'll see you next week. Thanks for coming on.
Sure.
All right, guys. And now we're going to have one more break, and then we're going to close the show out with Ivan FX. You know him, you love him. He's on a lot. We love having him. So stay tuned. One more break, and then it's all him until, I guess, as long as he would like to go. He's going to close the show for us. So stay tuned.
Real quick, I wanted to throw a shout out to our stream sponsor here on the A1 Trading Show, Forex VPS. If you haven't heard of Forex VPS before, they are a dedicated hosting platform where traders, especially algorithmic traders, can set up an in-the-cloud computer to run their MT4 24/7. If you have any experience trading with robots on MetaTrader 4 using expert advisors, they have to remain up all the time, and keeping your computer on is not always practical if you have like a power outage or that sort of thing. And with Forex VPS, you can set up a dedicated hosted computer in the cloud to host your MT4 or 5 platform. They have the fastest execution in the industry with latency less than 1 millisecond, which means when you place trades or your system places trades, it's near instant. So I've got my VPS open here from Forex VPS, and you can see, I just want to show how quick the latency is here. So if I click sell, you can see it is right away. I'm in the trade, all set, as if I was sitting on this computer, even though it's somewhere in the cloud. For stream viewers right now, Forex VPS is offering 30% off of your final subscription. If you're interested in giving it a shot, there's no risk. Why not? Use the link down below and the promo code there, A1Trading30, for 30% off. If you're watching this stream at a later time, you can also find it linked in the description below.
Hello, everyone. Well, Nick is on vacation. We should all need a vacation. I just wonder, how are you guys on your trading journey? Like, are you at a 1, like beginning, or are you at like your 9, your 10, you're just about to break through? Thank you very much, Marco, by the way. Great live. But like, where are you guys on your trading journey? And second of all, I can do 2 things, which I am prepared for. We can do psychology, where I got a lot of great feedback on last week, or we can do price action. That's kind of those two, or fundamental for that matter. Because we have a couple of things. Amal says it's a break-even stage. Okay, great. So, what do you need in that kind of stage? I'll give it to you, because I am not necessarily, but I am one of those traders that is trying to help you guys figure things out. And I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I'm going to tell you what you should probably look into. We do host weekly mentorship classes in the VIP group. So if you are there, make sure to at least look at the recordings, if not try to be where they are. And I am not too sure, but I think might be a B1 tomorrow morning. I need to double check my calendar. But yeah, tomorrow at around London-ish session. That being said, break even, Tim, psychology, doing the same things, doing the same mistakes. And I think that I just came out of a call today, and I think to people, like, what is happening inside your trading, inside your things, right? So I would say, all right, Australian dollar, probably a range bound. If it breaks a new lower low, it probably is bearish, right? Pretty easy, lemon squeezy, straightforward technical analysis. Euro dollar coming in with a new low, coming in 2 strong candles. A bit of a high here. What is going on here? So what is happening? You know, what is going on inside your brain, inside your trading, inside what you're supposed to be doing? I think we don't, as far as I know, we don't have any ICT traders, but you never know. They also have to be willing to come on camera. So, me as a trader, currently today, I would first, instead of going into this, I would then look at either Forex Live, Financial Juice, what do you call it? Calendar. And GDP came out today. Great, fantastic. Way lower than expected, at least to me. And then 3.6 is slightly slower than expected, and 3.3 slightly lower than expected. That sets up for tomorrow. So that's a prelim for tomorrow. And then GDP comes out round about 1.3. 1.3 GDP growth is... We need to discuss, are we in a situation where we are in a stagflation? All right? That just have to be a discussion that you have to have with yourself. It's not something that is currently blatantly cut out, but if inflation doesn't come down, which PC comes down a bit, if headline inflation doesn't come down, if PPI doesn't come down, or stays around 3 or 4, but then GDP starts dropping, we are definitely going into such a scenario. So what I was going through today that I want to teach you guys today is analysis paralysis, where I ask generally the same questions, but I want to ask you the question, what is the best price that you can get as a trader, and how long are you willing to wait for it? So I saw, what was it? Was it Australian dollar? Probably. Australian dollar or pound dollar that Marco traded on, can't remember which one it was, but some of them. Okay, so that's great on him. That's clarity. That is straightforwardness. That is know where to what about being in words confusion. So he's not confused. He has a process, goes straight forward, pretty profitable. All right, cool. So in this scenario, so I'm just going to find a dollar pair. That is great. Okay, cool. So in this scenario, for example, you have this range. Is it a range? No. Well, yes. I want you to think that way. I want you to think that is a high. Okay? A high has also new higher highs. That is normal. Just get on with it. All right? That is the previous low being broken. Okay. So if this is broken, but it has come down or come up all the way here, and then if you say to yourself, all right, in this scenario, We are now about to make a brand new lower low. All right, cool. Brand new lower low. Fantastic. Let's sell it. All right. And then you go into an aggressive entry, and then markets gives you a bit of a left hand and a right hand, and you're a bit paralyzed. And then it makes a new high. Your trading just went from being, well, or if anything, you're being smashed left, right, and center by the market, and your trading is no longer based upon data. Your trading is no longer dependent on a market, based upon previous experiences, data set, a certain amount of stop loss, a certain amount of what. Because if you're trading in this situation, and you can kick me in the leg for my trade on $1, fine, I'll do it. I can see it now. But that's the same thing, right? Because we become so aggressive, and we allow aggressive trading instead of saying, all right, it comes a bit of into range. Let me just make a new lower low first, or I'll take this very deep pullback. And when I'm sitting here, I'm going to take the deep pullback. I'm going to wait for a much better opportunity. Because what tends to happen, because this is based upon your trading career, your trading, is that it makes a new lower low. All right, cool. New lower low has been created. Let's remove everything there. And in this situation, you are in control. You are able to think straight. You are able to think critically. So if you are in a good mood, you say, okay, let me take this trade. Let me tell you something. That trade is the same trade as that trade. That trade is the same trade as that trade. It is an number one trade. It's an aggressive trade. Okay, what do you do with aggressive trades? You do less lot size. You do less lot size. Maybe change your stop loss and whatever. Right? Same entry. Play it a bit. Okay. Comes back up here again. All right. Is this a good place to trade? Hi, event. How do you manage swing positions when important calendar events are due? I don't. Okay, so let me go through your process. I just heard Marco said I will also copy it. News events are needed for you to create a trend or create a volatility. It doesn't matter to me. But I guess it does with prop firms, and you have to be careful about that 4 or 5 minute window. But for me, I don't do anything about it, because news events are supposed to push your trade into your direction, right? When we saw, for example, was it dollar CAD a couple of days ago? That was Friday last week. This is weekly take profit. Weekly take profit, and then it fell. But the news event was bullish. It was bearish dollar CAD. Sorry, it was bearish for the Canadian, but dollar strengthened. Sorry, dollar fell. Canadian strengthened. What is happening? It was a bearish for the currency, but the currency strengthened. Okay? What is going on? Even negative news is good news. And even good news is negative news. Hear me out. When you are at targets, when you are at a projected high, it doesn't matter what the news is. It doesn't matter what you're supposed to be saying or doing or whatever. The market will pull themselves out. And this thing about the psychology of the market is that you as a trader have to focus on a bit more. Is it called regression? No, it's not called regression. I think it's called standard deviation. I can't spell it. Sorry. I think that's called standard deviation. A standard deviation in the market is where you have a certain way of move, and then it will revert back to some kind of mean by the end of it. I'm trying to find it. I don't know where it is. I literally do not know where it is. But, we might find it by the end of it. And by the end of it, it's probably going to be fun looking at it anyways. Trend. Does anybody know where it is? No. I'm looking for a channel. Looking for channel. Regression channel. This one. So, inside where the market starts going around, this is number 1, by the way. This is 1 standard deviation away from the mean. Okay? Fair enough. But when you are in a situation where you have this kind of mean, you are at a high of it. What does that mean? That means that the market will also only go so far. It's also about, about trending. Like, for example, this one went really fast, and then it died really fast. This one really far down, and then it came really fast back up again. In your trading, you need to have a certain level of expectation of your targets. That in your trading is nothing you can change after you have taken the trade. So what do I mean? If you say that Australian dollar is going to go back up to these highs here, okay, does the market agree with you? Does the market also think that that's a good placement of your take profit? Does the market also think that's a good place to put your stop loss down there? Because everyone is going to put their stop losses down there. It is not a very it's not a very safe, or it's not very what do you call it? It's very obvious. Everyone knows it. Everyone can see it, right? And currently on the Australian dollar, US dollar, we are 50.45. Okay. And if we go over to dollar CAD, we are 72.28. I'm just going to tell you that's going to change anytime soon. If dollar CAD starts falling, that will start rising again. But why would the market be 70% selling dollar CAD in this kind of market? What makes you believe that is such a great thing to do? I hope they're going to win. I hope they're going to sit there and make a lot of money by the end of it. And the euro is kind of range bound. I was hoping it was more. I hope it was more divided than that. But okay, cool. Because if the market now starts going higher on euro, if everyone puts their stop losses here, what do you think is going to happen? Just saying. Salvatore asked, do you ever bet against the top trading setups on A1 trading? I'm not 100% always aligned with it. It depends a bit, but I am, well, at the bare minimum, more in line than anything. The question that you probably are going to ask yourself is, how do you interpret the fundamental data? And that is up to individuals. You can look at the hardcore data and give it a 1 point and 1 score, or you can give it a bit more weight. You can give inflation more and other data less. But by the end of it, just also completely not in the EDGEFINDER's talk, but generally, you can look at the same data and you can come to 2 completely different conclusions. It's all about markets. It's more than anything about expectation. How come? I've been doing it for 10 years. EDGEFINDER is supposed to agree with me, not opposite. Because EDGEFINDER is a tool. It is, by the end of it, it's a collaboration, or could you call it a summary of all the data points that you need to use. So in that sense, it makes sense. But as I just said, it also, you are the trader. You are the one deciding which information you use in your trading. And sometimes the top trading subs might not be currently at the peak, at the top, that I pick trades that is a bit lower on the scale and then becomes the top trading setups as they develop. So, you have to, by the end of it, not take away the accountability that you have as a trader, that you have the final say. You are the expert. You know what you're doing. You are the one that has the final say. I can't say, okay, as a leader, but like, hey, you. What? Give me a name. Mark or Tim. Sorry, Tim. Tim, you haven't done your job today. You suck as a trader, and you haven't done your analysis on the Swiss today. Like, what's going on? Like, why haven't you given me a fundamental bias update on the Swissy? And if I'm wrong by my trade because Tim didn't update the current view on Switzerland's economy, and I took a trade against whatever the bias was because I had an old bias, whose fault is it? Is it Tim for not doing his job? Or is it me for not double checking that he has done his job? Or for not double checking that what data he has given me and provided to me is actually accurate? Or just or do I just think that Tim is a great guy. He's always does the right thing at any given time. So I think, and just go for it. And if I lose and I later need to answer to my boss again, and my boss is like, well, Ivan, why did you lose $100,000 of our money on our wrong bias? Okay. All right. That's when I get sacked. Right? You as a trader, I don't know if this ever comes through this screen and this camera thing, but accountability in trading, PETA. Accountability in trading is all-time low. I don't know where it comes from. But in my profession, in my way of doing things, in my class, in my way of doing things, oh, we have 100% accountability, because I can't sit there and hold your hand and be like, bruv, your cup is wrong. It's not the one you're supposed to use. This class is wrong because, oh, you couldn't pick the right class out of the container to give me. Or you don't have accountability because you didn't do your job this morning. You don't know what the GDP is. You don't know what the Swiss GDP was this morning. What was it? Tell me. Does it change anything? Does it do anything? Will that change the interest rate decision in Switzerland? What's going on, bruv? Right? But it matters. It matters. And when you come to oh, you have that reaction? Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean, mate? Okay, if you think that Switzerland was supposed to be selling off, why don't you sell off there? That's a perfect sell opportunity. But hey, accountability doesn't matter, does it? No, trading is horrible, anyways. But a break-even trader doesn't matter, Okay, I'll. Do you know why you're a break-even trader? Do you know why your psychology is horrible? Do you know why you are feeling the feelings that you're feeling? Do you know why you're struggling with you're struggling with? Can I give it the pill? I can tell you, but will you work it? I don't know. But I'll give it to you. The reason why you're a break-even trader is because, number one, you haven't drilled down your strategy enough. You haven't gone through your data that says that this setup that you love, most likely, is your loss leader. Gold is 100% your loss leader on most of the trading segments I see. And people love trading gold. It doesn't need to be that asset even. It could be any other asset. But that's what I see. That's what my data tells me. You need to be data driven. Why do you need to be data driven? Because that eliminates your emotions. Why are you feeling emotions? Because you're human. It is okay. It is all right. That's what we do. But if you tell a mechanic, "Oh, I need a hex key, for a bicycle or something," and then you go into the shop and say, "I need a hex key for I think it's called HEX, yeah. That we call it Braco key. That key to change the steering. Which model is it? I don't know. It's a bicycle." And then the guy gives you a key, and it's wrong because you gave emotions, because you gave thought process. Okay, I thought it was. No, it wasn't, because you didn't check physically, actually, what the actual data was. And I'm not going to tell you you did it, but I can expose you guys, right? I can expose you. I'm not going to say who it is, but I'm just going to tell somebody. Somebody did it, okay? No. The worst trading that I see, actually, like seriously, I'm having a bit of fun here. I've seen people sell here, and I really keenly want to see that data, because I've asked every single one of those people who have ever presented me with a sell here, and you know what they have said? They said, "David, I don't have that data. I don't know what I'm supposed to do in this situation." But then I'm like, why are you trading? What are you doing? How come I'm only able to become profitable only a few assets, gold, Bitcoin, Ethereum, US 100, and horrible other charts? Because you have just figured out, Maharaji, is that different assets moves on different points. They have different drivers. Might not be your technical analysis, might be a bit of luck, but I say that traders who are good with yen is horrible with gold. It's just different drivers, different ways, also there is different manipulations, if you can call it, to different degrees, and different markets have different liquidity. So another way of putting it is that as an asset manager, you put different, I would argue, different orders into different assets and different allocations in your management, and you would dig down into those who does well for you in your fund, and in that fund, and that asset normally gets more liquidity, it goes better, it trends better, it flows better. But other assets that are not as liquid will have worse performance. For example, I'm just going to say that also Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar has bad liquidity, but it's the same price since what is it? We have been on the same price, give or take, since 2013. There is a lot of peaks and bottoms. So we are peaking at 114 down to 1. So it's a good 12% difference. But it's still the same price. It's that is a different market than, for example, dollar yen. Dollar yen was 92. 2013 was, what was it? Where is it? Here it is. 2013. Go back to weekly, probably. And dollar yen. So 2013, around the same time of year, give or take there. That is 80% difference in the same time period. Just a train of thoughts. How long do you consider it taking for any markets to be truly shifting directions? Can a single important news event like CPI, PPI be enough to make a significant change? Thanks, Evan. Who was that? Giancarlo. So I would say yes. It depends on the news and how strong the change is. Okay, let me tell you. So for gold, did anything change on gold because of GDP today? Not really. Let's go down to 4 hour. Not really. All right, it's still there, right? Nothing really changed. But what is important for you to note is news is... What is news? Volatility event. It's what I would call is it's candy for the professionals and horrible for retail. Because if you go to someone's trading account and they look at their news trading, and do you know what that is? An extreme sensitivity to short-term moves. So if we say, let's say we bought gold at the moment. Let's say we buy gold at the moment. Gold is currently 20. It's all right. It's down at support. Makes a bit of a bullish move. It's probably a good thing to buy. Okay, let's buy it. Okay, gold. So I figured out I will buy gold. Current price. It isn't very... That doesn't depend on a lot of strategy, does it? I just buy because it's a bullish trend and probably in a range band now, so probably going to hit my stop loss anyways. But what is important to note is that in your setting, in whatever you specialize on, I don't know. This camera view is so short. Whatever you specialize on, it doesn't really matter if it's gold, dollar, yen, oil, Ethereum, because it all comes down to psychology. And I'm going to say that with, hand on my heart, that 90% of your trading is your psychology. And what kind of psychology is it? It is the part... Oh, we have gone on for so long. Okay, sorry. The psychology part is that where you are lacking in your backtesting, in your beliefs, in your data set, in your... Also, whatever part of it is, that translates into anxiety, into frustration, into FOMO, into whatever. Nobody here is going to do another FOMO trade if they know every time they do a FOMO trade and they don't do what they're supposed to be doing. Every time they know they do a bad thing and they know they're going to be some kind of physical punishment of it, if that is to run 10 miles every time you FOMO, by the end of it you'll be very fit, but also you also stop doing it. I have a literal thing that happened to me was, a sailboat, boat with a boom. The boom was just above the exit or the entry to the living quarters. So you walk up the stairs, really steep stairs, and then you doing every time. So I did that 5 times. But by the end of it, I had a really bad headache. But I stopped. And instead of going straight up like doing, I tilt my head. So I didn't hit the massive tree or whatever thing that's just above you. The diameter is like, I can't even do it. Like, it's huge. I can't even hold it with 2 hands. So, around it. So, that's how you learn. Unfortunately, as humans. Your mistakes are not mistakes. Your mishaps are not mishaps if you don't learn from them, if you don't write them down, if you don't tell me, I won't know. Because I want you to succeed. And you know what success is. And you know what it takes. And you know what to do. But as a break-even trader, for that matter, or a limiting belief, which is anger, frustration, anxiety, or analysis paralysis, or I don't know what is happening because the market is going up and down. The gold is doing this, gold is doing that. Oil is, I don't know, it is a range. That shouldn't be anywhere in your brain. Because, we're trading. Okay. I have a predator issue, but in my mental space and how I want you guys to think, and I don't do it myself all the time, but what I want you guys to think is, what is this setup? What is my predictability? What is my profitability? What am I supposed to gain in this situation? And I've done this situation so many times. I know that A, B, C, D, E, F, G is going to happen. And if I start to go now and say, I buy New Zealand and Swiss, I'll buy at the current price. What is your likeliness of making money? My one here, 0. Like, I don't think there's any profitability whatsoever in this situation. Why is it so? Because I've tried buying below the point of control, which is the previous higher low, another break of another higher low, coming back down to support. Well, there probably will be somebody that can do it, but I can't. I need to remove that trade out of my trading. Secondly, can I buy here? Can I buy here? And now you can see the result of it. No, I cannot buy there. I could probably buy down here or down here or down here at the beginning of a trend. That's where I have my profitability. And that's where you see me selling euro dollar. What did I sell it? 108.35, I think it was. Somewhere in this direction here. Okay. Well, stop loss at 105. My stop loss was actually correct. It didn't hit my stop loss. And I would probably be in profit by now. I probably would have had some $10 out of it on my $1 account or something. All right, okay. So I took a $10 loss instead. But if you know me, I say this is my setup. I do this blindly and I don't care. I don't bother to take the trade. It's crystal clear. Just like Marco did 20 minutes ago. 30 minutes ago. So, who said they were in? I saw that you bought Japanese yen. Okay. It's not my favorite thing to see you do, but I guess it goes. So, what can I say? Dolly answering. I don't like the price action. Because this can happen. But That's not about your trade, by the way, but I'm just saying that for dollar yen's case, that you need to have your stop loss right on, your risk on, everything is probably okay. So what I want to say is, when you have your trading break even, I want you to come to one of my free sessions, whoever you are, and we go through your trading. You tell me your setup, you tell me what you're looking at, you tell me what you're looking at, and what to, and how you behave, and what. Then what normally I give you homework. I give you, which is very difficult to do because everything is inside your head, but you have to categorize your trades. Okay, if it's a bearish one, a bullish one, a range bound one, aggressive, a passive, whatever it's called, and then start recording whenever you take a trade, what kind of trade is this? And once you start, or I just take a look at your trading history, which is another one, which is very funny. I love that one because I can tell you, because I can see you selling, for example, I can see you selling here. Oh, it was coming off resistance. It looked like a beautiful trade and hit my stop loss. I saw someone selling dollar yen over here. They sold dollar yen around here, sold dollar yen here, sold dollar yen here before this peak. That's a bit crazy, isn't it? And what kind of emotions was this person going through? Fear, anxiety, couldn't sleep, horrible trading, led to bad quality of life. Salvatore, I wish you all the success. I wish you all the success. But I just ask you to do one simple thing, right? One slightly simple thing. I would rather see you trade new higher high, higher low, new higher high, higher low. That's going to be a horrible entry, rather than trying to buy what is a break and a new lower low. But that's all. That's kind of what I would say, because I'm not going to say that we are going to be that situation again, but your trading has to come from your data, has to come from, I've done this many times, this is profitable, this is fantastic, this is great. But I just want to say, in my personal opinion only, that we have broken below, that is bearish, we have a new lower low, it might go higher. Okay, not saying that you should exit or anything, just saying it might go higher, and I would rather like to see you trading in that, oopsie daisy, trade in this situation than in that situation. Okay, series of higher highs and higher lows. Okay, I love that for you. Okay, Webull says, I bought pound dollar. What do you think? I think you're brave. That's what I think. I think you're brave. Whenever, I don't know when my next session is going to be, but when the next session is, I'm not too sure when that's going to be. All right. I'll probably wait for pullback tomorrow. I might not get it, but I'm just going to say you're brave. That means that I'm not going to say that you're not going to make profit. I'm just going to say you're brave. That's all I'm going to say. So we have an equal low, but we haven't have a reversal yet. We are trying to go higher. Probably going to be the one that is going to go higher in the end. I just wish that was kind of a thing. Secondly, or thirdly, or whatever, What was your entry? 2683. 2683. Well, you actually maybe caught a bottom. Did you caught a bottom? Something? 2683 one. Oh, okay. You are down there. Okay. 2683. No. 26.8. Okay. Target should be then be 28. I can't even do this one. 2683. Yeah, okay, you caught a bottom of it. Okay, cool. Enjoy. What I think about it? Brave. Yeah, I'm all. Thank you for coming back to me. I just say that you are a human. It is all right, but don't let it break you. Don't let it drive you, and let go. Just like a bad ex. Yeah, I'm not. You're go. I'm not saying that you're lying. I'm just saying you're brave. That's all. And I believe that is 100% your trade. I'm just saying that if I did that myself, I'll probably lose money. I'll probably lose that trade. I don't have the. I don't basically don't have the data to prove that to provide that I should buy there. That's all. There's nothing more than that. I don't think we break 128. Okay, cool. That is 100% your belief. I might disagree. I might not disagree. But that's not the point. The point is, what do you believe in? And where is your data coming from? What do you back it with? And can you prove it next time you're up in the same situation? Because another thing today was where you are trading the same scenarios. I find that most traders mess up. Their ability to read the same market multiple times. Let me give an example. Okay, cool. So, yeah, okay, cool. Okay, let's do this one. Okay. New higher high, higher low. That is a buy. In my system, at least. All right, you have a buy there. Cool, great. Let's see. That's a buy. Stop loss is below previous high, lower low, new high, whatever. Let's make it a bit higher just for the fun of it. All right, got our entry. Got our entry again. Got an entry again. The question is, are you going to buy, or just going to leave it alone? I normally just leave it alone. And then it makes a new higher high. Okay, cool. There's a profit order. Okay. We all understood that, right? Bottom, previous lower high, breaks it, new higher high, higher low, buy it, or buy it for that matter, or whatever, right? We all good on that? Is that the same as this market? Is that the same as this market? Are you buying as well? Oops, are you buying as well here? Previous high, something like that. The person I was talking to said that this is 2 different scenarios. And the person argued that the range or the amount of time spent makes it different. Your trading ability to see the market, and then you can go over to now and say, okay, is this the opposite? Is this the opposite of now? Is $0, if that was the buy setup, is this the sell setup? Is this the market we are supposed to say, okay, buy, sorry, sell it? Right? So I would say on $, we're quite in the middle at the moment. This is potentially a bullish setup coming up to resistance for a sell setup. And I actually have to come clean and say, I think we're 50-50. That can be a thing, and that can be a thing. And then we will see what happens tomorrow. So I want to end it with what you're thinking, what you're doing, what you are trying to do. Stick to it. Don't let me tell you differently. Don't let Nick tell you differently. But what I want you to do is to be very clear about what your data sets tells you. That means you need to organize it. You need to find the same setups. You need to, I'll just scrap it. Try with the current markets. You need to be very direct, very clear, very straightforward. No motions whatsoever. Clear stop losses, clear trade profits. And how do you get that? By trying and trying and trying. See what works for you. I found out on my yen trades on the August, it's going to be 150 pips or more, or about there. A lot of pips, you might ask. Yes, it is, but that's how I stay in profit more times than not. If I have 50, I'm going to be stopped out, break even, and all of those things. I can't do that. I need to hold my trades for as long as possible with a minimum amount of risk, and I'm probably out of my 150 pips in stop loss, I'm probably going to get 500 out of it. Maybe. And if I don't, I don't. I don't care. Because I know by November, by the end of the elections, markets are going to go bazooka. Fantastic. It's going to go high. It's going to go lower. It's going to go in a trend. Whatever the direction is, I don't know. I don't really want to know. I just want to know what it's going to trend. And that's what it's been doing for all these other past years. So in the meantime, I'll be like, cool. Fantastic. That's what I'm setting up for. And then next week now on euro dollar, probably going to be dollars, probably going to be bearish for next week. Just saying. Just saying. That's all. All right. In the meantime, people, I don't have any free live sessions at the moment. I probably should have had some tomorrow, but I don't have that. Sorry about that. But next week I am off vacation, so I'm probably going to be the next week after that. And then I want you guys. I'm on Discord, so you can come on Discord and you can ask me questions. I will probably answer you in the shortest amount of time. I'll try my best. But be your own expert. You can do it. I know. And I'm not going to say that to anyone. I'm going to say it to you because I believe you can do it. I'm not going to say it's going to happen today. Not going to happen tomorrow. But if you put in the work, you plan your life so that you're critically looking at your trades and you get other people to look at your trades and you get it organized, I think you're going to have a much better life and a much better attempt, because who was able to become profitable over time by being random things? I don't know a person that does that. All right? Boom. I'll see you.
Thanks again for watching today's show. Our goal at A1 Trading is to share free value to you, our audience, through daily videos and articles, keeping you up to date with the latest market coverage. If you enjoy our content, make sure to subscribe for more, lest ye walk the plank. Join our crew as we head out to go long on gold. See you next time.